All right. Well, from Mish Talk, guys, 2024 will have the most multifamily housing completions in history. So after the latest wave of multifamily construction boom, we had 2023 with the most new apartments completed since the 80s. Now, the 80s is you were a young man in the 80s. I was a young man in the 80s.
I was swimming.
Yeah, I think he was with his pops over there still.
Yeah.
Hadn't left his house.
Yeah.
So 2023 saw the most new apartments completed since the 1980s, and the number of multifamily units under construction peaked late last year at a record level, with nearly 1 million units still in the pipeline. This year's on track to bring even more new inventory than last.
Yay! You know what that sounds like?
Renters.
That's it. A renters nation. You know, that's what it is.
Crazy.
They want to make it sound so good, right?
Yeah.
But again, these big companies are trying to do your Vanguards, your BlackRocks. They're trying to make it a renters nation.
This is what that looks like.
And
this is exactly what that looks like.
What I see a lot now in the developments of multifamily housing is that they build a whole community inside the development of where they're building.
Yes.
Meaning that you don't have to leave. There's stores, there's parks, there's recreation all around. So they're really selling hey, you have everything here.
Yeah.
Why would you need to buy? You can rent for this fixed place and get access to all this.
Just south of us, there's a couple of projects that are just like that. There's some in Millennia that are going up where you got the townhome and you got the connected condos and you have like the park. There's a grocery store.
Yeah.
There's like local businesses. Like there's an insurance agency. There's some restaurants. There's like a new coffee place, a wine shop, all within walking distance. And then you go like outside that like 2-block perimeter to like the 3rd and 4th block away. And guess what? It's all your major stores. You got Walmart right there.
Yeah.
You got a McDonald's. You got In-N-Out, Vaughn's, grocery. You got all this other stuff that's actually not too far away, and it's that like ecosystem that's right there. You don't got to get. I saw a family walking across the street the other day with their stroller, like a new young family like yours, right? Walking across the street, they got their stroller and they had their groceries like in another cart. And they were just walking home, and they may have a car, but they were walking. They were clearly walking right back to where they live.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at that.
No,
right
those
there.
kids are going to grow up like the Truman Show, grow up and I want to go on vacation. And they're going to figure out that they're just in that little bubble, right? Until they get older. The curiosity is going to take them like, I need to go to Mexico. Boy, there's no Mexico, right? You're right here.
So down the street, the taco shop's Mexico.
That's a great, if you haven't seen that movie, it's pretty good.
There has been
I haven't. I'm like,
there has been a don't say anything. And
I'm like,
there has been a substantial increase of multifamily using permits since 2020. In 2020, there's a lot of stats that are totally skewed and weird, just statistical anomalies because of what the year 2020 was. But right after that, in 21, 22, 23, and even in 24, all of those subsequent years have a higher permits pulled than the previous 30 years. And I don't mean total, I mean every single year in 21, 22, 23, and 24, there were more multifamily housing permits pulled than in the last 30 years in any given year.
Yeah.
The only competitive year that comes anywhere near these three I'm mentioning is 2019. In 2019, it was just under, let's say, it was right around 520,000 permits pulled. And nowhere prior to that is there a year that crossed 500,000. And now we're clearly past 500,000. You got past 600,000 in 21, 700,000 in 22, right around 600,000 in 23, and north of 500,000 again in 24. So this is the complete permanent shift culturally of multi-housing permits, just building a pipeline of inventory that's about to come, and it's going to be Renter Nation.
No, Renter Nation, and that's one of the things that have gone down nationwide are the rents. Making it more affordable, right? Because they want people to get in there. Okay, you know what? If buying a home is too much, why don't we just get you to rent and we'll lower the price on that, get you in, and we already know what time we're going to increase it anyways.
the ride back up to where
so it doesn't really matter.
It's like
a teaser rate.
They've come down from like their 100% increase.
No. But they come down like $50 in comparison to where they're at.
Yeah. Like, hey, I gained 50 pounds. I lost 2. Ayo. You have, it is happening, and it is certainly happening in other parts of the country a lot more rapidly than it is like here. Yeah. And we're going to get into some rental conversation here in a minute to close the show. But what's interesting about that is that it's the normalization of the price. And even though it's like been astronomical, you have to have a place to live. It's just shelter costs. And we've talked about that on other shows too. Like average shelter costs, whether it's you own the house or you rent the place, it is astronomically higher than it was just 4 years ago. Well, 5 years ago, 2019 was a reference article, but It's insane. And so
Yeah.
coming down right now is great. It's going to need to come down some more, I think, to open up the door for other people. But until then, I think prices are here to stay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So,
Absolutely.
did you guys want to break? I wanted to talk about one last thing in here because there was an interesting chart on here about the per capita multifamily units poll.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has like 30 largest metros, and it's a really neat visual of how inconsistent some places have been, where there's like been really big booms. Like, look, real quick, take a look at Vegas. You look at Vegas, like years ago, there's a huge spike in multifamily permits, and then like it's been a lull since then. You look at San Diego, it's been pretty consistent over that same amount of time. You see Austin, and it's like they've just been on a rampage. Like, Austin's been on a Austin's been
Printing permits.
been on a tear. And then you see someone like Riverside, got a little bit of blip. Detroit, little blip. New York, kind of a little blip. And New York's a bit, I mean, New York, everyone knows New York.
Yeah.
So it's just
Orlando.
interesting to me when I was looking at this, how varied the outcome was as far as the multifamily permit. And every area, though, in these 30 largest metros is in positive. Again, I'm going to use positive territory, negative territory. All of these 30 that are referenced here are all growing in multifamily, not decreasing in multifamily.
Yeah.
So that says to me,
Yeah, Austin, man, that's on steroids.
a sense of permanency, in my opinion.
Keep pumping.
All right.
Build them. They will come.
Yeah, but if you build it, they will come. They have to. People got to have a roof over the head, otherwise they'll end up on the
That's
streets.
one of the states a lot of people are moving to is Texas, and
Yeah.
Austin's one of the cities that
Yeah.
You know, I think they have a lot of tech companies there, right?
Yeah, there's
starting
yeah, there's a lot of culture too. Though.
Yeah.
A lot of media is going there. It's tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they expect 2024 will be the peak for new apartments hitting the market, and then next year we'll see fewer completions. But again, even if 2025 is somewhere north of 500,000 units, that still surpasses all previous years in the last 30. So there's
Crazy.
my final point, guys.